Ain't that fantastic?
Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 most impressive Bob Ross paintings.
Put your dream on canvas.
Okay, I think we about got that, Mike.
There. Act just like you're trying to cut a hole right through the canvas.
For this list, we're looking at some of the most interesting and accomplished paintings by this iconic, soothingly voiced artist. Which is your favorite? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. Northern Lights.
God was really having a good day when he made Alaska.
What we wouldn't give to be in that cabin on that cold blue winter night. The painting is done on a black background with predominant blues and whites added. The Aurora Borealis are painted using brushes, and the mountains are painted using a spatula. This gives them more texture.
Did you know you had that kind of power? Could you push mountains around? Boy, when I go home, the only thing I can push around is a chair, but here I can push around anything.
The trees and cabin are painted last, as it's customary to always paint the distant elements first and work your way forward.
So you're playing light against dark, dark against light, continually. Continually. That's what painting's all about.
The contrasts in this piece are really striking and keep the eye engaged. And the result is a peaceful, dreamy, cold evening.
And this one's about done.
The inhabitants of that cabin are probably sitting by the fire enjoying the cozy solitude. Number 9. Ebony C. This piece is begun on a dark canvas in order to really underline the poignancy of the colors. Ross begins with a dreamy night sky, lining the ocean and waves with a white spatula detail.
There we go. Just let it play and have fun.
The ochre rocky cliffs are also sharpened using a spatula, and the darkened trees are lightly highlighted to maintain a gentle tone.
Just follow the curvature. Just follow the curvature of the tree.
This painting has a really meditative feel to it. We can imagine ourselves sitting on the cliffside, breathing in the sea air, and listening to the music nature provides in the crashing waves and soft winds.
Well, I think this painting is finished, and I'm going to start piddling with it right now.
Perhaps the spirit of Bob Ross is sitting beside us. Number 8. Tropical Seascape.
Shake it. And just beat the devil out of it. Now then, let's have some fun.
On a light background, Ross paints an ethereal tropical sky using transparency. The darker colors are reserved for the periphery of the canvas, which is a trick to draw the eye to remain focused on the painting in its entirety from the center. The colors of the sky are beautifully projected onto and through the rising wave.
And that's where you put your bright spots. Barely touching.
The palm trees are painted last, as they are the closest element. The entire scene is so vibrant, despite its seeming simplicity with color.
See there? That's one of the nicest ways there is to make a little palm tree. Hope you've enjoyed this little tropical sunset type scene, and I look forward to painting with you again. Until then, happy painting and God bless.
It truly carries us to the beach, and we can almost hear the gentle waves and feel the sand between our bare toes. Number 7. Campfire. This piece comes up as a favorite quite often.
Now clean this brush up and we're ready to get serious with this.
It's a good example of the rule of thirds in art, that any piece should be divided into a 9-square grid in order to achieve an interesting composition. The campfire itself is placed following this rule, as it's approximately 2/3 to the right of the painting, as well as 2/3 down.
That's enough to convey what we're trying to show here.
Ross begins with the sharp red glow of the fire and works his way from there. The painting is completed with details using a spatula.
Maybe there's a little projection that comes right out through here. We'll just add a little bit more of the brown.
It is a really striking image, intimate and private. It reminds us of nights out in the wilderness, wrapped in warm ponchos by the dancing fire. Number 6. Shades of Gray. Bob Ross was basically the Mr. Rogers of painting. And this piece is a great example of this. When he met a colorblind fan who told him he could never paint due to his condition, Ross begged to differ.
So I thought today we'd do a picture in gray just to show you that anyone can paint.
He then did an episode in which he painted using only grayscale. On a white background, Ross creates a rich tone of gray using a variety of colors. The sky is painted using a larger brush, and the mountains are traced using a spatula to increase the sharpness.
Maybe a little touch right up in here somewhere. And then light's gonna strike right along this edge.
The mountains closest to the viewer are darker to create depth, and touches of snow are peppered throughout.
There we go. Super.
It's truly a stunning piece. Number 5, Winter Sun. This serene winter scene is started on a white background to convey the cold feeling. With a large brush, Ross works with transparency to produce the sun and winter sky. And trees are added using the tip of a larger brush. The scene is completed using a spatula and white hues to show layers of snow.
And maybe there's some snow all around the water here. Isn't that fantastic?
As Ross was well aware, and we've noted, it's important to always start with the furthest distance in the scene and work your way to the foreground.
You know, it never stops to amaze me as we travel around teaching this method to watch people who have never painted in only a day or two produce a painting that just, they can't believe it. You see them, their eyes light up, they become so excited, and they can do it, and you can do it.
The result is a spectacular winter landscape with a small reflective pond and the yellow, vibrant sun warming the otherwise cold picture.
I think with that, we'll close this one. I want to wish you the absolute, every possible joy that life can bring. From all of us here at this station, we wish you happy painting and God bless. See you next week.
Number 4, Snow Birch.
There we go. Isn't that fantastic, though? I just love little paintings like this.
This painting is slightly different from the others, as it has a bit of a surreal feel to it. On a black gesso background, seemingly a favorite of Ross's, birch trees are textured with whites and grays, with an overlay of transparent colors applied with a larger brush.
Like that. All right. Now then.
The white snow, resembling fluffy clouds, provides a separation between the trees and their reflections. This is another Ross painting that depicts a sort of intimate glance, a moment of meditation.
And I think it'll open your mind to ideas like you can't believe. It'll stir the imagination, get you excited, because there's a million things you can do with this. It's really just up to you.
It's a very straightforward painting, but it still evokes that pensive spark. Number 3, Golden Rays of Sunshine. Ross begins with a black gesso background and adds texture using cloth.
Start with the lightest area and begin working outward. See? Maybe this is a joy of paper towel painting.
He then uses white and darker colors to create the trees and branches, beginning with the lighter and completing with the paler, creating both contrast and depth.
There. But see, the variation, that's all there is to it. Maybe we'll just do a couple of white ones here so you can see how they're done. We've painted a whole forest here in just a second.
A foam brush is used for any foreground elements, as the texture creates a sense of close proximity. The result is really reminiscent of walking in the woods on a sunny day and glancing up for a moment to see the sun's rays peeking through the trees.
I really hope you try this one, and I'd love it if you'd send me a photograph of what you do, because it's unbelievable some of the pictures we're getting, and people are doing fantastic things.
It almost resembles a photograph. Number 2, Cabin in the Woods.
And I know you're saying, boy, he's done it this time. He has got number one mess going. Maybe. We'll see. Just have fun. Just let these things happen.
One of Ross's many cabins, this one is particularly inviting and impressive. Ross begins with a green and dark brown background, adding whites to create depth and atmosphere. Further detail is created on the canvas with carefully painted leaves, shrubs, textured barks, and tree branches.
I knew you'd enjoy that one. That really and truly is a beautiful way to do it.
Ross really was a master of creating inviting scenes, as this one really gives the impression that the viewer can enter the painting and take a peaceful stroll. You can almost hear the bird calls and scurrying squirrels, and perhaps one of Ross's babbling brooks in the distance.
I really do hope you try this one, because you'll find it to be a great deal of fun.
The entire scene has the potential to seem lonely, but the colors and overall picture are somehow warm. Before we unveil our top pick, here are some honorable mentions. Cactus at Sunset, a serene desert landscape in striking reds.
So from all of us here, I'd like to wish you happy painting.
Enchanted Forest, a truly captivating forest scene.
I think we're going to call this one finished. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you try it.
Reflections, a bright, positive, colorful landscape.
Until next week, happy painting.
Winter Night, a cozy, intimate winter cabin scene.
We'd like to wish each and every one of you happy painting.
Arctic Beauty, a striking snowy mountain scene.
And I really hope you've enjoyed it. It's a lot of fun. It's a beautiful painting. Until next time, happy painting.
Number 1. Graceful Waterfall. Though Ross has many paintings that could be deemed the top pick, we had to choose one.
You start tapping here. I want to create that nice misty effect right down here.
Ross again starts here with a black gesso background, which makes all the subsequent colors he uses really pop. Working with large paintbrushes, he begins with transparency and finishes off with paler colors to create thickness.
There we go. My mother used to love to listen to the waterfalls. That was one of her favorite things.
The result is an ethereal waterfall nestled in some vibrant leaves. We can almost hear the meditative roar of the waterfall, and it's really soothing.
And from all of us here, I'd like to wish you happy painting, and God bless, my friend.
Bob Ross really had a way of creating calm, intimate landscapes, and Graceful Waterfall is the prime example of this.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.